And so that total amount of points across the board, right? Who is out? And just like we've done our research, guys, it is time to get into the first place daily action.
Ladies, I hope you got your popcorn ready, whether it's literally or the emote in Party Royale, because this game is a I am ready for seeing all the action unfold. I hope everybody's got their favorite emote out, whether it be take a seat, whether they're with the closest out rate. Let's take us into game number one. The analyst desk set it up so well. Shout out to Zeke, Bala, and Showager. But now we're into match number one. This is it. 6 games to decide who will walk away with that Axe of Champions. Who will be the top player in arguably the most competitive region in Fortnite. It does have the most participants, and there's $800,000 up for grabs here, and here's the initial drops.
800,000.
And it looks like everyone's sticking true to where they plan on dropping. We have 3 players in TV. We've got, I think, only 1 or 2 players there in Catty Corner, 4 in Lazy Lake that we've seen time and time and again from Europe. And of course, we've got Rezon and Holly Hedges. It seems like he may be alone.
And one of the best comments I think I saw coming out was, wow, everyone is really scared of Rezon. And if you look at some of those early game drop spots, both in East and I'm assuming now in the grand finals, everyone stays really far away from him. And you can see that in the bottom right-hand corner on the map. Not a single triangle remotely close to him representing another player. That's because he's done such a good job over the course of the entirety of this tournament to stake out the claim, and then also getting a nice little elite chest right there, granting him the legendary burst AR, and he's set to go now. He can begin his rotation and head to center zone. He has those 6 crash pads, which you've seen him execute on so well, and he's basically set to now just farm the materials he needs and transition into the mid game. However, we've seen him go aggressive time and time again with a similar loadout. Is now swing on over.
And you saw how careful he was being. He wasn't taking a chance looting that chest. He didn't want anything to go wrong in game number 1, because that sets the pace of your game going forward. Whether you get out to a head start or whether you get to climb your way back from an unfortunate off-spawn elimination. However, Hen, on the other side of it, does have players nearby. Loadout not as great as what we just saw on Rezon, but someone that also did very well in the qualifiers. Came out, I believe, got a 2nd place there in one of the days. He's got that sniper out of the territory, and he's looking. He's peppered up. He's looking for an elimination. I think he's going to be able to catch this player off guard. Snipe's going to come through. He's going to wait, and he does. Ardent's going to go down. Elimination comes over for him.
Brilliantly done there by Hen to set up that ambush on the side. We talked about it time and time again, how you need to be careful, but in the early game in particular, it's so hard to really know where your opponents are, keeping track of them. If they're in 96, it's so hard. It's a 0-point game, and now you have to sit back and watch everyone else have fun while you're sitting there waiting for the next game. Because now we hop on board, and Candy, who's going to be in the exact same situation as Milan, turns that one around. And someone who's really been playing a lot better as of late, Clay.
He has indeed. I believe we have 2 Milans here in this grand final, so we got a Lost Milan and Normal Milan, but both of them have been playing very, very well and have consistently been making it into that top 25. It seems like almost every single qualifier, so it's really good to see consistency being rewarded, especially with the way the format is. The format rewards those high-placing, high-consistent games, so if you're able to get to top 15, top 25, top 20 every single game, you're going to start to make your way to the top of the leaderboard.
And that's what the goal is for the end. We talked about so much yesterday how it's, hey, top 25 is all that matters. Well, here, everyone wants to be number 1. You have to walk away with that top spot, because so is competition if you want the grand prize in the Axe of Champions and all the clout that comes with saying, hey, I am the best player in my region after the weeks of qualifiers and then coming down to this. And Mr. X, who had a beautiful run yesterday to even get in here, the miracle back back-to-back-to-back eliminations, but now under pressure from Rifle, going to get in directly on top of him, but sticking straight to the AR spray. He didn't have a shotgun. That's what we talk about. Those early game fights, he just had the assault rifle and the SMG, opting to stick with the AR, and I think that might have been the wrong call, as the SMG could have offered him slightly more damage in that situation. The Rifle comes through and punishes him.
And it was such a close call. That Siphon was just the difference maker once that elimination came through. You see, now on another engagement, it's between Wolfies and Maestro. Maestro running off this side on the front foot. The pedal is down. Maestro wants to just continue to push down. Shots go through. He's getting back to the wall. And Wolfies is going to go down.
That was a huge pickup there from Maestro Wolfies, who was the second place finisher in the duos of the World Cup. We've seen him play so aggressively, the young player from the UK, but when he's put on the back foot, it can be a little bit challenging there. Maestro did come through, got dropped down to 48 HP, but don't forget, in arena and tournament settings, there is that Siphon enabled. That means when you eliminate an opponent, you will get either 50 HP or 50 shield back, depending on which one you end up needing. It prioritizes health first, and then they will also drop all of their materials, all of their loot, and an additional 150 materials, so an extra 15 builds that you can go over and sweep up. That ends up being really key, particularly in the mid and the late game now, as I'm on board here with a Ventex who takes two really big shots and is put on the back foot.
He is, but luckily enough for him, Crash does not have any shield pop. Now, it's not going to be as good as he is going to be finding time to get those minis in that big shield pop. Inche over there needs to find an aggressive push into the box. He needs to catch him off guard. The medkit will be popped, so he does get back to fighting HP. Under 15 HP is enough to withstand some shots. And Krez is now on the back foot. That's exactly what he needed to do. He needed to turn that defense that he was waiting on into that offensive moment. And now Krez is in a very bad situation. 6 builds remaining. No HP to really work with. He's going to have to hit a really big charge shot there. Dana coming through, not going to connect on these shots. He goes to the box, but Krez hits the shot, and that's another elimination for him.
And you talked about it. He needed to hit that big charge shot, holding it up and punishing the player. And particularly when you see two players box to box fighting with charged shotguns, it's really difficult if you're not able to get that finishing blow right away, like No Luck Nebby does there, finding Kira. There, Nebby showing the power.